Hey friends, welcome back. Joel's here with another message of divine light just for you. And today I'm going to be talking about revision. Can we rewrite the events of the past to create a different present and therefore a different future? Now, revision is one of those things that gets a lot of criticism. People are very skeptical when it comes to this, and rightfully so, because can we really change the events of the past, and how far can we take it? I'm going to be diving into this topic in this video, but before I do, if you like this stuff, hit the like button and hit subscribe for more, because there's always new information that I have to share. And now that we're really stepping into who we've come here to be, I'm really changing things up and really pushing the boundaries of what I talk about, really getting out there, and some stuff that might rock people's boats, but a lot of it is very powerful. And if we don't master this technique that we are born with to literally manifest our best life yet, then we're not living to our fullest potential. And let's engage in a conversation. Comment down below, post some questions or comments, whatever you have. If you have revision stories that you've done yourself, share that, because sometimes discussions in the comments section really change people more than uploading a new video or a new technique. But with that out of the way, I'm just going to jump right into it. Revision, changing the events of the past. Can we really do this? What really sparked this video was actually a recent event when I revised and actually changed something very drastic. What happened was that I was dealing with a traffic ticket, and I'd already written them back in challenge of it, and there was a few things that went off. So one day I went out and checked my mail, and all of a sudden there's this letter coming back to me from the court, right? And I knew that the correspondence I had received before wasn't exactly what I wanted. So I just sat there and I visualized that the initial correspondence that I had received just said that this charge is acquitted. And I sat there and I brought that scene real. Like, I opened the letter, I felt the paper, everything, and I read it on the page in my imaginal scene. And when I opened this letter, it didn't say that I was acquitted. It said that the correspondence that I had sent in response wasn't necessary because there is no charge. It literally said that this charge was not in the system. And that event reminded me of how powerful revision is, that we can actually not just change the future events, but change past events to affect how the present and the future show up. And how far can we take this? Well, I've helped some people actually fix physical ailments by going back to the place in time when they had received an injury or something happened that really messed them up, and change that event in the imaginal scene. And once they do that, the physical world conforms to that scene. And I'm going to give you an example where I did this a really long time ago. Actually, before I continue, one of the most powerful things that I did in the realm of manifesting was to go back and rewrite a lot of the things that happened in my past and relationships, stuff to do with finances and just situations in school, drama. We've all been through that. But the point is, when you change the past, you literally change the person who you've become due to those events. Speaking of this injury that I sustained, I was in like 5th or 6th grade when this happened. And I was different back then. I was a little rough around the edges. And before class started, I was hanging out with a couple other students at the back of the room. And I was sitting on another student's desk, and he wasn't part of our group. So honestly, back then I didn't care about him. And I'm just sitting on his desk, and he's trying to get ready before class starts. He's trying to organize all his books and whatever. And he asked me really nicely, actually. He's like, "Can you please get off my desk?" And I just kind of looked at him and ignored him and continued on with my conversation. And that wasn't very nice of me. And I've revised bits of my personality to make me more amicable. And honestly, that also has shown up. But this situation, he kept asking me like a couple times, and his sister was standing next to him. She was, I think, in the grade above him. And just because this was before class started, we were all kind of, mingling. And he asked me a couple times, and then eventually I wasn't listening. So his sister's like, hit him. And there was no teacher in the room, nothing like that. And I'm like, he's not going to hit me. I just carried on with my conversation. But he took his knuckle like this and he jabbed it right in my spine, in the middle of my back. And it hurts. So I got up and I walked off. But ever since then, my back was really giving me problems. And I started to have these spasms and really tight cramps in my back when sometimes like I'd just be doing normal day-to-day stuff and all of a sudden it would seize up and I'd get the sharpest pain. Like I couldn't do anything. I had to go lie down, and sometimes that lasted, till the next morning, maybe even into the next day. And it was so bad and it was unpredictable. But I lived with this for almost like 10 to 15 years. I would say 15 years, because I just started manifesting about 5 years ago. This is when I really started getting into it and doing all the revision scenes that I planned out. And I was methodical about it. So I went back into this scene and I saw myself there sitting on his desk. And then I heard his sister say, hit him. And right before he hit me, I just kind of spun around and I caught his fist and I stopped the punch, and then I just walked off. And that was it. That was the scene. And I looped this maybe 24 times after getting into a meditative state and then falling asleep in that state. That is the best time to do this. When you're falling asleep, you enter into that drowsy state. And while you're sleeping, your conscious mind is not contradicting the imprints that you have planted in the subconscious mind during your imaginal scene. And ever since then, my back has been completely restored and I can move around. I'm agile again and I can twist and I can shout. Twist and shout, twist and shout. And it's like the event never happened, because I went back into the past and I saw those events that I wish didn't happen, and I imprinted it with an event that, I rather would have happened. And this is where it comes down to, what events in your past do you wish never happened? Or rather, how would those events have actually happened? What would you have preferred to have happened? And you can actually do this every night before you go to bed. Just revise the events of the day. Put in what you wanted to have happen and take out what you didn't want to have happen. And if you don't have time to go through every single event at the end of the day, just create an alternative ending to the day where all of that is fulfilled. Really powerful stuff. It will really change the situations in your life almost immediately if you implant the subconscious mind properly. Let your imagination take you really deep into who you've come here to be. What are your innermost desires? And allow them to manifest by making an imaginal scene, getting into that state of being, and allowing that to imprint on your subconscious mind through any of these techniques. My preferred one is to visualize right before bed, but I can do it through scripting. I can do it even just writing it down is sufficient. But you got to open your subconscious mind. You got to let your logical mind out of the way and allow that state of being to build on itself. And don't cancel it after you've imagined. Don't go in there and say, blah, 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 and repeat the old story. That will just cancel it. So you got to imprint the subconscious mind and allow the universe to concretize and magnetize and coalesce around this vision that you've had. So how far can we take this? Honestly, the sky's the limit. And if you aim for the sky, you can't miss. You might not hit the exact target that you think you want, but it's still going to get you to that imaginal scene. Another story that I've heard, and this was on one of the coaches that originally got me into manifesting. One of his clients actually spoke about how they manifested a dog, and this dog had actually been killed by a car, and all this person did was revise the scene where the car stopped and the dog wasn't killed by the car. Went back and played it a couple times, and all of a sudden things lined up. This person's brother went to another country and surprisingly came back with a dog that was identical to the dog that was killed, except for a little spot above the eye, but everything else was identical. And it was like this dog never died. So in my experience of revision, the past events don't actually change, but the physical circumstances in the present conform to as if they had changed. And that has something to do with memory and linear time, but time is not linear. And in essence, time is fractal, and all timelines exist simultaneously. And that is the power we can tap into. This is infinite potential, the quantum probability source field, where all potential exists. Like, what are we doing? Just waiting for reality to tell us what to respond to. We can create reality, and we can revise reality. That's our true power. So that's the video for today. Revision, the power to actually not just change the future, but to change the past. This is manifestation. This is our ability as conscious beings. And this is something that can solve all of our problems. So why are we not teaching this in school? Well, you'll learn this in this school. And if you like this kind of stuff, check out my course down below, Manifesting Abundance. It's a 10-day challenge of just really fun exercises to get down to the root of whatever's blocking you, expose it, and to imprint new subconscious beliefs, behaviors. And you can repeat these practices as much as you want. The more you put into it, the more you get back. And if you'd really like to manifest a specific something that you're not really having much success with, then check out my personalized coaching. Link is down below. And join the Discord chat, because we have really cool conversations on there about manifesting. And we really bring this to a whole new level with this community, because we're part of this community and we're all in this together. And hey, if you don't feel like you need any of these programs, but you still like my stuff, consider making a donation and support this channel. Because like I said, it's an energetic exchange. What you put out is what you get back. And once you engage with the laws of the universe, you can go back and watch these videos, and a whole new level will be exposed and made manifest to you. Even me, when I put out new information, sometimes I'll go back and watch the video again, and it's like I'm learning from my own videos. So guys, be part of this high vibe tribe. Join the community, and let's really manifest who we've come here to be. You are special, we are special, and we're reclaiming our sovereignty and our dominion over time, space, over the past, over the future, and over who we truly are. I love you guys. I'll check you in a future video. Joel's signing out once again. Agape, Salaam, Namaste. Hotep.